today I get to teach you about TI. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for a brain explosion in the best way? You're gonna be, what? That is so cool. Okay, here is what you might have learned in school already. You might have learned this, TION. Let me put it in the chat for you. TION, like nation, fraction. Your teacher might have already taught you that, oops, let me spell it right. TION says shun, right? Have you heard that TION says shun? Well, if you haven't, you're going to learn today. But you might not have been taught, you probably weren't taught why TION says shun. Why does TION say shun? There's no SH, there's no U. Here's why. Because TI says shh when it comes almost to the end of a longer word and there's a vowel after it. One more time. TI says shh when it comes almost to the end of a longer word and there's a vowel after it. Almost to the end of a longer word, multisyllable, and there's a vowel after it, like that O in TION. That O is making the schwa sound because that's what O's do when they are almost to the end like that. That's why TION says shun. It's sh, n. Now you know. You probably know something now that your teacher might not even know. How does that make you feel? Yeah? Hi, Dustin. Oh yeah, the tall. Shh, that's right, Lana. Your sister was telling me about that. So this is the short shh, and this is the tall shh. But next time you're actually going to learn that there's several shh. You're going to learn another short one, like that one, CI. But don't look at the CI. That's for next time. Okay, so for today we're going to do TI, and we're going to do it in 3 different suffixes at the end. We're going to do TION. So if you hear shun, spell it TION. Okay, so if I'm asking you to spell a word and it ends with shun, TION is the best way to spell that sound, that word part, that syllable at the end of a word. Longer word, okay? Shun. You might also see sha. If you hear sha, you're going to spell it TIA. And if you were here in A month, then you know why that is. Because when A is at the end, it says ah. It just does. California, Nevada, Nebraska, Alicia, Dakota, Santa, Panda. When A is at the end, it gets to say So when you hear sha, when you're spelling a word like militia, that's a real word. If you hear that sha at the end, you're going to spell it TIA, almost always. And then the last thing you're going to see it in is TIENT. Take a second, try to figure out what that says on your own. TIENT. If TI says shh, then what does TIENT say? It would say shent. Shent, like this word. Patient. You might have seen that word patient before and have been, maybe you didn't wonder, but you might now. Why does that TI say shh? It's because of what you're learning. TI says shh. TI says shh. TI says shh. TI says yes. TI says shh when it's almost to the end of a longer word and there's a vowel after it. So let's practice. All right, let me share my screen so you can all see me. All right. Our first word that we're going to do together is plystion. Plystion. Now I'm going to put our common suffixes over here. The last one isn't really a suffix, but here we have TION. That says shun. Here we have TIA. That's how you spell sha. And then we have TIENT, shent. Okay, so our first word is plystion. Plystion together. P-L-I-S-H-N. Plystion. Consonants. P-L-I-S-H-N. When you hear sh, that's almost to the end of a longer word, and there's a vowel after it, you're going to spell it T-I. So this one's almost to the end, and you can tell it's a longer word because there are two vowels that don't touch. That means it's a two-syllable word. It has to be at least a two-syllable word or longer for you to use that T-I there. And the T-I has to come almost to the end, and there has to be a vowel after it, just like that. And this is shun sound, right? Ply shun. And when you hear shun, we're going to spell it how? T-I-O-N. That O is making the schwa sound. Now for the I, we're going to spell the I sound with an I. Just checking, can that say I there? In order for I to say I, it has to have another vowel in the next one or two spots. There's one right there, so it's safe. You can say pleishun. So this I says I. This T-I says shh, and this O says That's the symbol for That's the schwa symbol. P, whoops. I, sh, n. Pleishun. Pleishun. Your turn. I want you to spell trishun. Trishun. I, sh, n. And then put it in the chat for me. Trishun. Hopefully you'll get it, Charlotte. I'll go nice and slow. Is that the coolest thing you ever heard, Carrie? I know. Our word is trishun. Trishun. Nice, McKinley. Good, Isaac. Trishun. All right. Yes. Now, we're actually just a fun fact. We're not going to use SH in any of our words today. So if you're tempted, think, well, what else can say SH? She said we're not going to use SH in any of our words. So what else can say? Oh yeah, TI can say the same thing, can say shh when it's almost to the end of a longer word and there's a vowel after it. So use TI if you hear the SH sound. Trishun. Yeah, you can do your word over, no worries. All right, so consonants. We have I, sh, spelled with a TI there. N. Now I know that this says shun, right here, try shun, and when you hear shun, it's spelled T-I-O-N. So there's that O for T-I-O-N. Now it can say shun. That's a common suffix that you're going to hear in a lot of words. And then for the I sound, I'm going to start with an I. Can I say I there? Yeah, because there's another vowel, one or two doors down. So he's perfectly happy saying I in that spot. Okay, number 2. Sip, sh. Now, which one of these is our sh ending? This is shun. This is shent. This is sha. So we're probably going to need that in this word. Sip, sh. Sip, sh. Sip, sh. Together, consonants. Sip, sh. Spell with a TI because it's almost to the end of a longer word. And there's a vowel after it. Well, we know how to spell at the end anyway. That's always going to be an A. And then here's that TIA that I was telling you over here. Spells sha. Sha. And then for the I, I'm going to start with an I. Can I say I here? Yeah, because the next 2 letters are consonants. When the next 2 letters are consonants, he's nice and happy making his short sound and saying I. Okay? All the vowels do that. They like to say their short sound if the next 2 letters are consonants. Does everybody know what a consonant is? Put no in the chat if you don't know what a consonant is, and then I'll teach you. Consonant, yeah. A consonant is any letter that's not a vowel. And our vowels for the most part, I mean, vowels are, there's a lot more vowels, but for the most part, vowels are A, E, I, O, U, and Y when it's not the first letter. If it's any other letter, we're going to call it a consonant. There's actually, vowels are a bit tricky, but that's good enough for us for today. Okay, your word by yourself is ipsha. 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 Now it does qualify as a longer word even though it looks short because there are two vowels that don't touch. So you can still use this sha. Ipsha. What a good question, Charlotte. I'll answer that as soon as we finish this word. Ipsha. Good. Ipsha, Ipsha. We are spelling Ipsha. You guys are such good spellers. Did you know how good you are at spelling? You probably didn't even know how good you are at spelling. Wow. All you had to know is just why the words are spelled the way they are. And then you can spell it just fine. Ipsha. Okay, so consonants. I, p. Here's our sh and our Our I is going to say I here just fine because the next two letters are consonants. Ipsha. Ipsha. All right. Charlotte had the best question. She said, why are A, E, I, O, U, and Y vowels? Why are they vowels? That's such a deep, wonderful question. I'll just put Y here. It's because a vowel, let me just stop sharing so you can, this is a deep answer for a deep question. So put on your thinking cap, get ready to collect this information so that you can impress all of the adults in your life who aren't going to know this answer. Are you ready? A vowel is a sound. It's not a letter. First of all, a vowel is not a letter. It's a sound. And the vowel sounds are represented by those letters. But a vowel sound is any sound that comes out of your mouth that is not stopped. Basically, that's it. It's not stopped or obstructed or limited by your tongue or your lips or your teeth. So if your mouth can be wide open and sound comes out, that's a vowel. Those are all vowel sounds represented by vowel letters. And if it is not a vowel, it's a consonant. If you have another question, put it in the chat for me. Why do people spell Y like why, not why? Okay. Why is Y spelled like this and not like this? Well, it should be spelled with the full way, Y, with WH, because this is just kind of a little shortcut, abbreviation, right? Just like if you wanted to say you, we should spell it Y-O-U and not just you. It's just a little shortcut way. It's like, if you're trying to write really fast, then you might say like, where are you, or why, but I like to use words, I like to spell them out. Don't you? I like to spell out the whole word instead of those little snapshot abbreviations. Okay, let's keep going. So our next word is I don't want that one. Prescient. Prescient. So we have p, I, sh, n, t. Consonants. P, I, sh, n, t. Now shent, here's our shent over here. We can tell because this is sh and this is a. Shent. Here is shent right here. So all I need is that E to spell the S sound, and we've got shent. Now all we need is pry. I'm going to start that I sound by using an I. I usually spells I. Remember, letters spell sounds. I usually spells the I sound, as long as there's another vowel in the next one or two spots. And there is right there. So he's perfectly fine saying I right there. Nice and happy. Okay, your word. Client. Client. I, sh, n, t. Go for it and then put it in the Q&A. Client. Client. That was fast. Client. We are spelling client. If you hear SH, don't use it. Use this spelling instead. That's a big hint. If you hear sh, don't use this one. They both say the same thing. Client. There we go. Nice. You guys are such good spellers. Okay, and I love how you used a C too to spell the K sound. Beautiful. So for client, our consonants are K, L, I, Sh, E, N, T. Vowels. I is going to be spelled with an I just fine right here because there's a vowel in the next 1 or 2 spots. Shent, all we need is that and there's shent. Is this seeming easy for you? You are just such fast learners. Do you want a harder one? How about we do a harder one and then an easy? Oh, we might only have time for a hard one, but if you don't want to do the hard one, put your pencil down. You have my permission to not do it. Okay? Your word is Pritisha. 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 This one is a little tricky. Pritisha. Well, it might not be easy because you're still pretty new. This is brand new to you. Don't you worry. A lot of these kids have been in here for a while, so it's getting a little easier for them. And it will for you too. Just keep coming, and pretty soon you'll be thinking, that's too easy. So our word is Pritisha. Pritisha. And our consonant rule is that second I, you don't need 2 consonants after it. So this does not have to be doubled right here. Pritisha. Good. Okay, consonants P, I, T, I, sh, there's our sh right there. There's our sh right there. And this I in the middle, that's our rule that we learned, I think, last time. When you have I in the middle syllable, if there's a vowel before it that doesn't touch it, and a vowel after it that doesn't touch it, then it gets to say I, even if there's not 2 consonants after it. And then for this I, it does need 2 consonants after it. If there's not 2, make 2. Did we forget that rule? Then that is good job, Sprinkle. Good job, Nimot and Sheath. Nice, Lana. Okay. So a lot of us forgot that little doubling pattern. So we'll do a lot more of that next time so that'll be easier to remember. I just kind of threw that one in on you, didn't I? So that was more my fault than yours because I should have at least reminded you, given you a little reminder. Oh my goodness, that's our time. Okay, here's what you have learned. You've learned so much. You learned that when you hear shh at the end, almost to the end of a longer word, and there's a vowel after it, you're going to spell it how? T-I. Wow, who else knows that? I bet nobody else in your house knows that. Maybe not even anybody else in your whole class. Maybe not even anybody else in your whole neighborhood. So you know what that means? You have to teach them. You have to teach them. And when you teach somebody, then it helps you learn it even harder, even deeper. You know it even more. So when you hear shh, that's almost to the end of a longer word and there's a vowel after it, spell it T-I. You're amazing. See you Wednesday. Bye, everybody.